Spring 2016, it's all about light and the playfulness of light.
The inspiration for our collection is 1,000 Days of Magic. It's inspired by the Kennedy White House era.
For spring 2016, we focused on the gardens of France.
Brides are free to express their own personality, their own style, and I think it should be, who you are on your wedding day.
Rita wanted something that was really quite natural, something that looked like the bride had sort of done it herself. We put a large curling iron through just to give it a bit more texture and movement, and then we just separated the back from the front, and we had two sections at the back, and we just twisted the sections into a double knot and secured them with pins. And then we brought the front over and then secured that into the rest of the ponytail as well. So it was really lovely. Rita's looks were always very, very elegant, but there's a certain edginess to it as well, which we wanted to maintain.
We were playing up the light and dark and the transparency when light hits an object in a room. So what we're doing is we're taking a little bit of our white liner, placing that on the eye, and then we're adding our white pigment, just placing that right in here, because it's all about starry eyes for this season, creating this warm, transparent eye. So we're going to take a liquid liner and just really tight to the lash line. We're going light to dark, so with the white being the light, going over to the dark represented by the black, and it's kind of like a dawn to dusk cascading across the lashes. Really clean, beautiful skin, and then also just a hydrated flesh lip. Definitely a wearable look. When you see it walk the runway, it's going to be beautiful.
Spring 2016, it's all about light and the playfulness of light. I was inspired by a painting by Turner, who's a painter of light. He's got this great painting of a window with the light coming through at dawn, just the rays sort of casting through and how it plays on everything. So I took that and I played with different lush fabrics, translucent fabrics, and creating depth in all the dresses so that you see the body and you don't see the body. You see shadows through the fabrics, and there's this sensual illusion of what is it that I'm seeing. So it was all about lightness and delicate and the seeing and not seeing of the human form. We played with the color dawn as it plays in with the theme perfectly, and what I did is I layered that color under some translucent organzas. At certain times I use it as a liner and then draped different tools and laces on top of it.
But I always think Rita is beautiful. I think these particular fabrics were a lot lighter and softer, very dreamy. I think she was inspired by things that are a little bit more transparent and they were layered. I like the different mixes of laces, but I like that it was nice that they were kind of dimensional but still very light. And I think that's what our brides are looking for now.
I played a lot with different laces this season and applying them versus playing with the entire piece of lace. So strategically applying them within the draping of tools, and that way you got more diffusion happening and the play of lace with something under it and something over it. So it was a lot about playing with the whole depth of different lush layers.
I thought it was lovely. I love what people are doing with illusion. It's great, and it gives the girls options. They can be as revealing as they want to be.
The silhouettes this season range from contouring silhouettes, so we've got gowns that fit through the hip and then just flare out at the bottom with really lush details. And then we went all the way to ball gowns. They're not huge ball gowns, they're just a good size with layers in them so that you've got that grandness without being overwhelming. This season, I hope that people feel the lightness and the sensuality and the etherealness of all the silhouettes.
Oh my God, it was so beautiful. I love the fabric she used. Everything was just, and the nude one at the end, oh my God, it's so amazing.
When you're choosing a bridal gown, what's important is to look at things that you typically wear and look through your closet and see what shapes you're comfortable in. Then go try those on first, but at the same time, allow yourself to explore beyond that and try on shapes that you typically wouldn't wear. And a lot of times, a dress doesn't look great on the hanger, looks amazing on.
For Oleg Cassini, it's always about romance and beauty, and it's so radiating when these girls walk down in these beautiful gowns. So we're highlighting the skin on the top of the cheekbones, but also giving a subtle smoky eye, but different, a modern twist, a romantic twist, which is using shades of almost a burnished bronzy brown instead of your traditional smoky grays. And then we're keeping the lips very, very soft, and that blushing bright on the cheeks. We've got that beautiful kind of pinky glow to the skin. So it really looks like she's gliding down that beautiful runway, like Love Struck.
What we're doing is a very romantic look, and there's variations between a couple of the girls. Some are loose and out, and some have a low ponytail, but the texture is all the same. There's a lot of volume, it's very sexy, very romantic actually at the same time. It feels a bit undone. We did a nice wave or a curl and sort of like took it apart to look a little more ethereal.
The inspiration for our collection is 1,000 Days of Magic. It's inspired by the Kennedy White House era. You know, Oleg Cassini was Jacqueline Kennedy's personal couturier during the White House years, and together they created magic. They brought American fashion to the world stage. Oleg's silhouettes for Jackie were always trend-setting and forward-thinking, so he brought this regal quality out of her that she, of course, had, but he had this ability to unlock this greatness in terms of style. It was a really synergistic moment, and so we take that synergy into the wedding gowns for today's bride to bring that power, that elegance, the glamour of magic and romance into every bride's day.
I thought it was beautiful. I always look forward to coming to the Oleg Cassini show because I know I'm going to see beautiful ball gowns, great embellishment, and it absolutely didn't disappoint. What I loved about this one too is some great sleeves on a lot of the dresses and some really like modern touches as well.
That's what we like at Oleg Cassini. We want the bride to feel her best, to look her best. And we emulate this history of ours, which is based on something that was pure magic. And so everything we do, we try to retain elements of that quality, that forward thinking, that energy that sparks trend setting as opposed to trend following. Let me tell you about our new book. This is 1,000 Days of Magic, dressing Jacqueline Kennedy for the White House. This chronicles Oleg's experience dressing Jacqueline Kennedy for the White House. Oleg and Jackie had an incredible friendship and a great relationship, a synergistic relationship, and they created something very special together. You will come away with feeling like you're a part of something that is historic, that is certainly current in the sense that these styles are so forward-thinking that they're fresh continually today. You can see it like in the bodice work here. We have a lot of this that we like to bring in the wedding collection. As Jackie said, Oleg dressed her for the part. He saw in her this moment that she could create this Camelot, and he said, you know, you're going to set fashion trends here. Let's create a look that everybody follows and that you don't follow. And so they did, and that's what we continue to do. One of the through lines of this collection is Camelot. We have a beautiful, like Guinevere-inspired cape, which has a huge train with embroidered lace, with eyelash lace hem, and we have cascading lace that goes down, trailing behind, 5 feet behind. Very dramatic and elegant. We also have an homage to one of her very favorite dress, which is the inaugural gala gown. It's the ultimate t-shirt dress, and so this season we did a dress that is like a t-shirt. It's fitted to the body, it's flexible, it's very elegant, it's understated, but so filled with glamour and elegance. From Oleg Cassini, you will always find classic elegance, romance, and glamour. Oleg Cassini, the brand, is based on forward-thinking fashion, beautiful, simple lines, a look that fits the body beautifully, enhances the shape. That is the envelope for the body. That's what Oleg always said. The clothing should be the envelope for the body. So the body is enveloped in this beautiful garment and made to look its best.
I I think what's great about this collection is that it really does feel classic. And as we were looking at some, especially towards the end of the collection, you really almost got that sense of like royalty in it as well. The fabrication and some of the like overlays, it was just beautiful. The shapes too really harken to that time.
The irony in trendsetting is being classic. There's so much to be said to being classic, simple lines, elegance, minimalism, with the most opulent fabrics, with the most beautiful embellishments, with gorgeous embroidery and beading and crystals. We love to have the bride sparkle. We love the bride to feel beautiful. This is the most special dress that she will ever wear.
For spring 2016, we focused on the gardens of France. And by doing that, we incorporated lots of pastels and sheer fabrics with overlays of layered pastels, maybe 2 or 3 different colors that might together read as an ivory. And when she moves, you see the color. So it's a very soft, romantic, still the classic, timeless Audrey Hepburn attitude, refined bride, but it's definitely got a softer feeling about it.
Anne is one of those designers who really knows how to strike the balance between sophisticated, modern, still glamorous, still fairy tale, and does it so tastefully without being too dramatic. She offers a silhouette for every bride, but it's so tastefully done. Her subtle details, I think, speak volumes, and I think this particular line was exceptionally glamorous.
Some of the dresses remind me of the 50s ball gowns, which I always loved. I remember them growing up quite well. And they also, a few kind of have a vintage feeling of a Downton Abbey feeling. So, but I think you'll feel classic and timeless, whether they're the vintage look or it's even a more contemporary shape. It's still that refined statement.
There's really a lot of variety in the collection, so I think you'll actually find something for a lot of different types of brides. There were things that were not preppy and classic at all in this collection, but much sexier and really fresh and different.
It wasn't all ivory. We saw nude. We saw colors that were a bit more warm, and we've seen her do that in the past, but I think they were a bit more dramatic this time. Subtly dramatic, but I think very tastefully so, and very much on trend. Not every bride wants to wear ivory now, and she's giving them the diversification and the options that they're asking for.
It is the one dress of your life. And that's why I guess you can have so many different styles, because no 2 girls are alike, and you never know what, even with all the styles that are out there, every bride I meet has something in mind of how she wanted to look, and it may not necessarily be hanging in the store. You know, you may have to create it from making changes for her to accommodate her dreams.
I always think of Anne Barge as like more classic, more preppy maybe, if you will. And I saw some of those elements, like some sort of plaids and the lace, but it was a much more like modern take on it. And maybe even a little sexier and different. There was that one towards the end which had the sleeves and almost like a jersey and a great low back, which I thought was really different for her collection, but really beautiful. I was really taken by that one in particular.
The and Barge bride is that bride who really wants to look at it as a reverent, okay, even if it's not a religious ceremony, it is a reverent occasion in her life. And she always also wants to always look right. In 50 years, she wants her relatives who see the picture on the mantle to think it still looks great today.
Today for the Claire Pettibone show, the theme is country chic. So today we wanted all the girls to look as if they're, out playing in the country, with their beautiful dresses and their sophistication. The makeup is soft but bronze. The eyes are a little more dramatic, smoky, but the colors are all neutral. We're using browns, we're using beige, and we even kind of drawn in some very, very subtle freckles. And then for the lip, we left it also very natural, no lip liner. It's beautiful for weddings. It's beautiful to take this look out for the summertime because it's softer. Gorgeous for bridal.
The inspiration came from the little house in the prairie. I saw the dresses and, not many brides wearing cowboy boots and cowboy hats. So it's very, very natural. We just did we put texture on the hair. We had two braids on the side, the ponytail. And then it's like she's on the horse with the wind blowing. More and more brides are doing with her hair down or the ponytail or the braids. It's not anymore like the typical chignon, you do that once a year for your wedding and then you have that picture on your piano and you hate it for the rest of your life.
I always kind of start with, a mood or a feeling. And I just thought with all the lace, I love working with those types of fabrics, cottons and laces, that it really lent itself to that kind of little bit Old West, little Western kind of theme. Well, I really got some beautiful laces that have a very vintage feeling about them. And then I thought, in order to give it a little edge, the accent of black, the collection has, kind of a relaxed vibe about it anyway. And I feel like that bride is a little more down to earth. She's kind of having a lot of my brides get married in kind of this type of setting and environment. So it actually was a little bit inspired by my brides as well. A lot of my brides really love the fact that the dresses are comfortable, that they can really not be so focused on what they're wearing on the day. I mean, yes, you focus on it beforehand, but once it's decided and you're good to go, that you can really just enjoy your day. You can move, you can dance, you can have a great party, and not be worried about a stiff dress. It's very feminine, romantic, flowing. It definitely lends itself to an outdoor setting. Brides are free to express their own personality, their own style. And I think it should be, who you are on your wedding day.